Just let me cry a little bit longer. I ain't gonna smile if I don't want to. Hey man, we all can be like you. I wish we were all rose-colored too. My rose-colored boy. Maybe you a little bit longer. I think I wanna stay in the car. I don't want anybody seeing me cry now. You say we got a little bit better. You say, well, maybe if you wanna go blind. You say my eyes are getting too dark now.
Ladies and gentlemen, our show will begin in 2 minutes. Please take your seats.
A little bit longer. I ain't gonna smile if I don't want to. Hey man, we all can be like you. I wish we were all rose-colored too. Just let me cry a little bit longer. I ain't gonna smile if I don't want to. I know we all can be like you. I wish we were all rose-colored too. Rose-colored boy. No pressure, just stay with me and I'll let
Take a hit, shoot me down, shoot me down. I won't ever hit the ground, hit the ground. Playing dead, I'll never do. Gotta keep an eye on you. Patience is wearing thin, paper thin. Promises broke again. What a sin, but it only feeds my energy. So don't expect no sympathy. Smoke, fire, it's all going up. Don't you know I ain't afraid to shed a little blood? Smoke, fire, flares are going up. Flares are going up. Oh, won't wave my white flag, no. This time I won't let go. I'd rather die than give up the fight, give up the fight, give up the fight, give up the fight. Won't wave my white flag, no. Oh, I won't go down slow. I'd rather die than give up the fight, give up the fight, give up the fight, give up the fight. Put an X on my chest, but I'm still standing, 'cause I won't forget the hell on earth you put me through. I'll save myself in spite of you. Smoke, fire, it's all going up. Don't you know I
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to the stage Carrie Ivers.
All right. Good afternoon, and welcome to GetWell Labs Shark Tank. Startups from across the country competing for the chance to wear purple. My name is Carrie Ivers, and I'm going to be your host for our show this afternoon. And to kick us off, I actually have a special treat. Many of you were so spellbound by Spellbound that you've kept asking us over and over for an update on that really cool company that won in 2016. Well, the great news is that Spellbound is here, and they're going to kick us off with an update of where they're at. So please welcome Spellbound.
Hi, everyone. Hi, guys. I'm Christina York, founder and CEO of Spellbound. We do digital pain and anxiety management tools using augmented reality technology, 3D technology, to get children to cooperate with medical treatment. When my youngest daughter was 3, she jammed something in her ear. So I took her to urgent care. And when she wouldn't hold still for the procedure, we were sent to the hospital ER. When we got there, they strapped her down to a papoose board, wooden board, Velcro restraints, and had some technicians hold her down. And when she still wouldn't hold still, the doctor put her under general anesthesia, put her in the OR, so they could use tweezers on her ear to safely pull out the object. What should have been a 10-minute, $100 procedure in urgent care with a cooperative child turned into an 18-hour, almost $10,000 ordeal that left my child fearful of healthcare providers and more likely to not cooperate in the future. When kids don't cooperate with treatment, whether because of pain or fear, cost of care goes up, risk goes up, trauma goes up, and those patient satisfaction scores go down. So we created a digital solution that reduces trauma for patients using augmented reality technology. Now this is 3D technology. It overlays digital experiences on top of the real world. I'm going to do a live demo in a second so you can see. But this is a little girl who underwent 5 consecutive shots without flinching. This is her using Spellbound. And the woman on the right is the medical technician who's actually overjoyed at this tool because it's usually her job to hold the child down. Ooh, we're going too far. So what we do is we use the mobile devices hospitals already own, parents already own, smartphones and tablets, and we combine them with cards, books, and wall decals. And when you point it, the mobile device, using our app, at that object, it can bring it to 3D life. So I'm going to quickly attempt this. Hey, everyone. So we're going to see a mermaid. You're not going to hear any of the sounds. So what we hear from our customers is they walk in to the patient room and say, do you want to see a magic trick? And a child who is fearful or afraid calms down. It's something they've never seen before. Or an occupational therapist can walk into the room and say, would you like to explore my medieval world? And I watch you and to see that your motor skills are developing. Sorry. So it just offers, yay, yellow team. It just offers a little world of imaginative play. There are sounds and music that go along with it. We have a demo at the table, and we have free cards to give you to take with you to try with patients if you'd like. But the idea is immerse them in a virtual world and get them to cooperate. So we reduce prep time. We increase throughput. Sometimes it takes so long to get a kid to calm down for surgery, you run risk of delaying or having to reschedule. Physical therapy, we had a patient where it went from a 2-hour inpatient session to 10 minutes because they actually wanted to cooperate with treatment because they thought it was fun. And also, our big object is to reduce or eliminate the need for sedation, for unnecessary sedation for simple procedures. When we came here 2 years ago, we weren't even to market. The company had just launched. We were 5 months old, and I was pitching an idea, a vision for using this immersive technology that creates the zombie effect. If we can harness the zombie effect and really put it to good use, then we've done some good. And now we have 19 hospitals as customers across 14 states, 180 child life specialists who've been exposed. Thank you. And we're huge advocates for this profession. We tell some of these stories on our blog if you guys want to check it out, spellboundar.com. But really telling the compelling stories of these professionals whose job it is to really help patients cope with this experience and walk away with a lifelong, a better relationship with healthcare providers and their health. Our vision for the future, we've got are these really cool pain and anxiety management tools. But what's another great tool that helps manage anxiety is education. So coming up next for us, we'll be creating some anxiety management tools using simulations. If a child could practice what it's like to be in an MRI machine in the safety of their own bed first, would it reduce the need for sedation? Would they maybe hear it and see the lights, or maybe allow them to manipulate the virtual machine in a safe way so that they feel some semblance of control? These are all powerful tools that we can use creating augmented reality. We've been working with GetWell for the last 2 years, doing joint webinars and events, and really getting the word out to child life professionals, patient experience people, nurses, about how the combined power of GetWell and startups can really bring innovative tools to the hospital. So I thank you for your time. It's great to be back. If you guys want to check out the table, we've got some more cards to give away so you can try them with your patients. Thanks.
Thank you. Congratulations again, Spellbound. It's so impressive to see your technology. All right, it's time to dive into the tank. So let me welcome our sharks to the stage. I'm going to start with Carrie Rich. Carrie is the co-founder and CEO of the Global Good Fund, built by and for social entrepreneurs. The Good Fund was created in 2012 based on the belief that growing leaders is the best strategy for solving complex social problems and achieving global good. Carrie enjoys voluntary running and eating home-cooked meals as long as she is the one who did not cook the home-cooked meal. Please welcome Carrie. Hiran Mankodi is a general partner with Pamplona Capital. He joined Pamplona TMT from Audax Private Equity, where he led the firm's technology investing efforts. He brings more than 16 years of private equity and venture capital investing experience to this Shark Tank, but has more experience supporting the Red Sox, the Celtics, and the New England Patriots. Please welcome Hiran. Already the star of GetConnected 2018, Brett Seyfried, the Director of Clinical and Revenue Cycle Systems from MUSC, is here to join us as well. Brett's love of karaoke began in high school, where he was the drummer in a rock band named IMAX Dolphin Showcase. Please welcome Brett. And finally, he's CEO of the leading interactive patient care company in the world and friends with more than 700 patient care experts. His favorite color is, of course, purple. He plays basketball for a team known as the Fighting Emoticons, enjoys romance novels, pina coladas, and long walks in the park. Give it up for the man, the myth, the legend, Michael O'Neill. Okay, judges and contestants, here are the rules, and we are going to be very strict. Each company will have exactly 5 minutes to present an overview of their entire company and demonstrate their solutions. 5 minutes. We will have a countdown timer that will be on the screen. And as we get close to the 5-minute mark, music's gonna come on like the Oscars, and it'll increase in volume, letting the presenters know that it is time to end their presentation. Then we're gonna open up for 5 minutes of questions from our esteemed panel of judges, or the Sharks, as they're also known. And they will also only have 5 minutes to duke it out and ask what they'd like of our contestants. So we're asking everyone to keep this very short and very sweet. More importantly, voting. Each of you now has a job, so because you are the ones who are going to pick the winner, it's important that you pay careful attention to these presentations. As each one of these fantastic companies is up here, think carefully about the concept, the product, the impact this could have on healthcare. Which of these companies would you want to partner with? Which of these companies would you think your health system should buy? Which one of these do you think will have the most impact on the healthcare industry as a whole and our patient populations? After the final presentation, everyone in this room is going to be voting in real time, so make sure you have your phone handy because we will be voting via your phone. All right? I'll give you instructions when we get to that part. All right, judges, are you ready? Voters, are you ready?
Let's do it.
All right. We're going to start with Narrative DX. So Narrative DX, come on up. Let's start the clock after she's already at the podium.
Would you believe that patients care about empathy as much as outcomes, and some even more so? Insights like this make the difference between good and bad patient experiences. Bad patient experience costs a typical healthcare system about $30 million each year in lost reimbursements, decreased referrals, and increased staff turnover. I'm Senem Güney, founder and Chief Patient Experience Officer of Narrative DX. At NarrativeDX, we have built an AI platform that identifies trends and actionable improvement opportunities from patients' comments. We take all the hard work out of collecting and analyzing verbatim patient feedback, give the right answers to healthcare leaders so they can move the needle in the right direction to improve their patients' experiences. Patients talk about their experiences today like never before. Hospitals are swamped with thousands of patient satisfaction surveys, social media posts, rounding data, you name it. It's very difficult to keep on top of all these different sources of patient feedback. To make things more difficult, the most critical kind of data, the comments, are messy, unstructured, and completely scattered. Even if you could collect all this data, it's very time-consuming to read and understand it, let alone act on it. The NarrativeDX platform collects all this feedback and separates the signal from the noise. We've already helped our clients hear over 1 million patients' voices. We provide the insights to act on, and that's why our clients love us. Let me give you an example of how we make patients' voices heard. One of our clients had persistently low scores in nurse communication, as you would know, a very critical metric for a hospital's reimbursement. Checkbox surveys did not show why they were getting low scores, and they turned to us for help. The NarrativeDX platform collected comments from surveys to reveal the context behind the scores. On cold nights, the nurses would run out of blankets, and they would tell the patients none were available. Patients marked this experience as poor nurse communication because there's no box to check on the survey for running out of blankets. Based on NarrativeDX insights, the client bought more blankets, a solution they would not have known to pursue without understanding the comments, and they increased their nurse communication scores. Our insights helped this particular client improve their scores overall by 80%. Let me give you a different example. Another client was trying to figure out their low referral volume, and they turned to us for help. The NarrativeDX platform collected comments from surveys and online review sites. Our analysis showed that their older patients were struggling with touchtone scheduling, while younger patients preferred to book their appointments online. These insights became available only when NarrativeDX combined the different data sources together. The client took fast and effective action, and they increased their referral volume by 9%. Last year alone, we've helped our clients realize over $25 million in additional revenue and savings, and we're poised for an exciting new phase of growth. After proving our value for our forward-thinking early adopters like Christiana Care, we rolled out enterprise-wide engagements in leading institutions like Cedars-Sinai and the Cleveland Clinic in the first quarter of this year. And we're starting new engagements at Stanford Children's Health and University of Colorado Health. Besides our direct sales to health systems, which is picking up great momentum, we have partnerships with leading vendors in patient experience, such as the Studer Group. Our partnerships give us direct access to a $100 million revenue opportunity across 2,000 clients. And we're thrilled to be here today speaking with you and working with the GetWellNetwork. Our team brings together the right mix of expertise to solve this problem. Improving patient experience is difficult, but NarrativeDX can help. For anyone here today, NarrativeDX would be happy to provide a free analysis of your patient feedback. If you want to understand your patients and provide excellent patient experience, please come speak with me after the presentations and we'll set up your free analysis. Thank you.
All right. You got to stay up here, Senam. Senam, you got your Q&A. You got to get up here.
Sorry.
All right. Judges, we've got 5 minutes. Who would like to go?
I've got a quick question for you. So,
All right.
the survey companies like Press Ganey
Yes.
and NRC Picker, they seem to be adding sentiment analysis to their offerings. Can you talk a little bit about the distinction between what you do versus sentiment analysis from them?
Excellent question. Sentiment analysis, natural language processing, text analytics is our core business. It's not the core business of a survey company. So as they might understand the importance of comment data and learning from comment data, this is a critical analytical capability that takes a lot of time, expertise to develop over years, and that's what we have done. We have built a proprietary natural language processing engine built on patient experience data specifically. We did not bring in algorithms from other verticals where people have used in other verticals like retail, hospitality, and offered it to patient experience leaders. We worked with patient experience leaders. We worked in patient experience language to build our analytics.
Thank you.
Excellent presentation. How do you marry up this unstructured data, the sentiment analysis, with a lot of the other feedback mechanisms and loops that are happening in hospitals? How do you make that easy for customers? Can you talk a little bit about where this fits in?
I always say one of the side effects of our implementation is bringing all these distinct data streams together. We are a data source agnostic platform. So once we get installed in an institution, we can ingest any kind of verbatim feedback. It doesn't have to be just comments from surveys. It could be from rounding. It could be from focus groups. It could be from grievance letters or case management databases, and then out there in social media and doctor review sites. So we ingest all these distinct streams and provide the full picture of patient experience.
Sanam, what do you think the application could be in a long-term care setting?
In a long-term care setting? Well, patient experience is critical across the spectrum of care delivery. We started in acute care settings because that's where the financial pressure was the most urgent. But understanding patients' needs and expectations and acting on those needs and expectations is across the spectrum. So even though we're not in those settings yet, we look forward to the opportunity.
So we're in an era now of a overabundance of data that's coming in. So going down the path of AI and NLP and how we aggregate all that data to make it make sense to make real-time decisions is important. So is the data itself, is this real time, or is this something that's aggregated months, weeks, days after?
Very good question again. So we're bound by the intervals of the data. We're as real time as the data is. Depending on how often a particular healthcare organization gets their output from their survey vendors for comments, that's how often we're able to provide analytics. But for social media, it's real time.
Very good.
What has been some of the pushback from potential clients?
Well, when we started, I'm a social scientist, so I knew in my gut that this was very important. This is the kind of data that shows why. When you look at a survey score, you learn how you're doing compared to your peers, compared to your previous quarter, but you never get to understand why you got that score. So that comes from my background. And when we first started talking about these things, and probably, I was a professor before I started NarrativeDX. I was a little too professorial in my pitches. But the market really is here now with us. We're delighted that we were early enough to get going, to get the early first mover advantage, so to speak, in the market. But now nobody needs that explanation. Before, you'd had to explain why you need to tap into comment data to improve your experience. Everybody was so much focused on CAP surveys. But I knew in my gut that people would realize, and they did very quickly. Now, we don't have to go through that spiel. Everybody understands patients are talking everywhere across different platforms, and now we're taking the job of analytics from them so they can actually focus on the improvement actions that they're good at.
Thank you.
Final question?
Just when somebody at one of these organizations says yes to bringing on NarrativeDX,
Yes.
Who is the decision maker that you're finding in the organization that you'd want to get to?
Well, we work directly with chief patient experience officers. If there's a C-level position in a healthcare setting, that person is always our super user, if not the buyer. It depends on the decision-making structure of the organization. Usually the CIO gets involved.
They're always fun.
Oh, you got to stop. Sorry.
All right. Or CNOs. We work also very well with CNOs.
All right.
Great
Thank
job.
you so
Great
much.
job.
Great job. Narrative DX. All right, next up we have April Age.
Greetings, everybody. And hello, I would like to first introduce myself. I'm Alexandra, Alex Brown, and I'm here with my co-founder. I'm a co-founder, here with my co-founder, Ron, and we bring greetings from Toronto. I want to tell you a little bit about ourselves because it's important to understand the philosophy that we bring to April Age. I come from actually a media background and an online background, and Ron has created software companies for visual effects. And we know the power of images to tell stories and to move people emotionally and to move them to action. And so we've taken that and we are now using that in healthcare. And because we know every patient has a story, that story is a unique one, and we want to tell it with their own image. And to be successful in changing behavior, the health effect must be relevant to that person. It must be about me. It also helps that there is a global mass adoption, and has been, of image taking and image sharing technology. So the problem we're solving now, the World Health Organization just a couple of months ago issued a high-level commission because for the first time in history, non-communicable diseases are killing more people than communicable diseases. And the four major causes, tobacco, physical inactivity, unhealthy diet, and misuse of alcohol, which lead to chronic conditions. So the good thing is that we know that disease prevention and wellness, making some changes, can help you avoid chronic conditions by up to 80%. The bad news is, however, that there's so little adoption and engagement of these programs, and why. This is where April Age comes in, and this is where the visualization comes in. We take people's images, we use people's images, and we show the effects of unhealthy lifestyle behaviors over time. And this is a motivational tool, this is an engagement tool, and this is a stick with the program tool. So we're going to show you two tools today. And the first is facial aging, and then we'll run through that. And then I want to talk a little bit about facial aging and what goes behind this. This is built on a database of real people. I do want to stress this is not a free app that you can get in the App Store. This is not a toy. We have built this using real people across 5 ethnicities, male and female, and ages 7 to 70. We do kids too. The second that I don't think we're going to have time for the demo for, this is Form. This is our second tool. This shows changes to your body, to your BMI, while also knitting on the facial aging. The passage of time is critical in lifestyle behavior change when using visualization. People bring a mental model of their future self, and that affects the decision. And this is independent research to prove these outcomes. A study at Curtin University in Australia showed a 10 times increase in smoking cessation when people saw their facial aging with the effects of tobacco versus the control group that did not. That was published in the Journal of Medical Internet Research. The other two studies, the why behind this is important. It's the future self, making relevant to you today the reasons why you should take effect now on your health. Everyone deserves a healthy behavior, a healthy lifestyle. Let's change our behaviors to do that. Some of our clients around the world, how they use it in terms of their programs for weight management, smoking cessation, all about adoption and adherence and engagement. Now I'll turn it to Ron for the demo that I'll talk you through that. So this is a white labelable demo. This is the face aging software, the touch screen. Next, then you simply pick your gender, and then you choose your age. Your starting age is, for the purposes of this, we're going to go to 22. Next. Then you pick your ethnicity. Our sample is Caucasian female. Next. Then you can select a BMI if need be. It defaults to a BMI of 22, but it does give you the capability to do so. Next. And then this is where you take the picture. This is a placeholder right now, but you take the picture, go next. There are instructions if you're in the kiosk. It's all self-modulated. This is now doing the aging, and it will age, for example, a Caucasian female differently than an Asian male, different than a South Asian male. Now we pop in all the health and lifestyle effects, and you're going to see the big finish right at the end, and you'll see Jess age to age 70, and then with smoking and BMI. Thank you very much. Think we're out of time?
Yep.
Yep, okay, thank you very much.
Mesmerized. All right, judges.
So you've convinced me to skip happy hour.
No, I was going to say, totally.
But no, but I mean the technologies. It's very cool. It's very interesting. Have you found that there's a specific demographic that relates to this better than another?
It's interesting. This was originally designed to be an exhibit for a science center, a large world-class science center. We're actually now in over 30 science centers around the world in addition to healthcare. And it was the Roswell Park Cancer Institute in Buffalo that heard about this. And they were doing some groundbreaking work on smoking cessation for women and girls. So they were the first ones because they understood the power of the visualization. And they said, and it was not to be used as a scare tactic, it's to be used as a motivator. And so we find that in the teen segment, particularly when you are talking about something like smoking cessation, if you're just getting in before kids are starting to smoke, that is a very specific example of when it has been very useful. But we have examples from all over the world, really. This is a tool, if you think of it, that's integrated in health and wellness programs. So it depends what you're talking about, really. But it depends. But that was a specific example that we were just knocked our socks off.
Great, thank you.
As you noted, it's a tool and an impressive one at that. What's the go-to-market? Are you working with providers or partners? How do you actually get this into the marketplace?
Well, you're basically looking at the marketing department right now. So we use social media a lot. We have been able to just do word of mouth as well. We had some early adopter customers who have been with us, like Harvard School of Public Health has been with us for 5 years. They keep coming back and they tell people. We do blogs, we do a newsletter, we do anything that's free to get that to market. Really, that's what it takes. And the proof is in the pudding, and also what's critical, these studies from these unbelievable academic institutions from around the world that have proved the effectiveness, these people have sought us out. That is our gold in terms of the proof, the evidence that's there. So that as well, when it gets written up in peer-reviewed journals as well, that's very weighty for us.
Alex, would you share more details about the role of social media in proving out this concept?
I think what it is for us, it's to talk about it as opposed to letting people try it, because there are certain things, as I said, it's a tool that should be surrounded with health and wellness information and education. And I think it's just we were certainly coming from the media backgrounds that we both have come from, could see the tsunami of social coming down, and just the ability to talk about this and how we talk about it on the platform and any marketing that we do in terms of sending it. And it's how our customers now expect as well to be talked to. So that's how we can roll. And we can include a little demo, and if you, as well, it's so easy to reach us, you can also include that little demo as well. So that's valuable.
Can you talk a little bit about how it's deployed? So if an organization were to license the application, can they just put it as a link on a corporate website or into an application? How is it deployed?
So we've made it hopefully very easy and flexible to deploy in a number of settings. So you can download it, and it can be on, let's say you're a public health nurse and you're out in the field. You can put it on one device so you don't have to worry about internet connectivity, and the whole application goes on that device. We have an API that you can link into so that you could do via the web service API. We have a standalone kiosk version, as I'm calling it, which the science centers use, which you could put in practice, right, in a clinical setting, in a waiting room. We have a mobile app, so that you could put it on your mobile as well for iOS or Android. So it's really, and it's very lightweight in terms of the requirements, simple JPEG in, JPEGs out. So there's not a heavy technical requirement or expertise in terms of integration.
So it seems like you focus very much on the smoking cessation. Is there any future plans as far as what other type of decisions that cultural decisions or life decisions would be integrated into this?
Yes, so we have 3 modules right now, the smoking cessation, the BMI, and also sun exposure.
Okay.
So the platform, if you think of it, is a platform, and it is underlined by all the data that we have. Data for us is images and people's lifestyle behaviors. We could do alcoholism, we could do drug abuse, we've even been asked to do male pattern baldness.
All right.
I'll leave it at that.
Thank you so much, April Age, everybody.
That's cool.
All right. Next up, we have Med Respond.
Hi. Good afternoon. Nice to see you all. It's been such a great week here at GetConnected. I'm Ginny Probanik. I'm with MedRespond, and MedRespond is a conversational patient engagement program. Basically, we use technology to do something you in healthcare have done all the time, talking patients through what they need to know, showing them things and doing things. But we're using now artificial intelligence to do that. So it makes sense that where our technology comes out of Carnegie Mellon University in Pittsburgh, that's where AI was born, actually. Over 50 years ago, you saw the first uses of AI. Now it's becoming a really earth-changing, life-changing technology. And we're putting it to use to target complex diseases, surgeries, procedures, and treatments. What we focus on is improving patient satisfactions, outcomes, and again, targeting cost drivers. So what do we really do? Let me take an example of how we prepare patients for open heart surgery. Everybody in the room knows that patients really don't have office hours, and a lot of the problems and concerns they have are occurring at 3 o'clock in the morning. And what you'd really like to do when you prepare that patient for surgery is enable them to have a series of conversations. A series of conversations first with their surgeon, then with someone to help with planning. The day before, remind them what they should be doing for their surgery. On surgery, reminding them how it's going to happen, what it's going to feel like when they wake up. And then covering again in recovery. And just a series of conversations rather than one trip periodically or not getting answers. So how do you accomplish this? Today, this is what MedRespond has done to accomplish this. We've created a conversational healthcare solution called Fit for Surgery. And this is Dr. Michael Kulig. He's a thoracic surgeon, and he wanted to create the experience when patients used to get a 3 or 4 hour training sessions before their surgery. So what we did is we created a database of over 200 video clips that covered all that information so that they could play one after the other. And when people go to the site, the first thing they hear,
hello, I'm Dr. Michael Kulig of the Cardiac Surgery Department at Forbes Hospital. And
now I don't need to tell you that's not an actor. So what people can do then is they let it go. It will just begin to play, and doctor will ask them, how are you doing today? If they say they're doing fine, he said, great, that's really an important part of having a good outcome. And if they say, I'm nervous, you know, you're not alone. That's how most people feel. It's really important that you learn most about what you can do. So people can move through all the content. They can, you see at the screen just below him, they can actually type in their own questions. What we do is we interpret what they say and we find the answer. This question is, what can I eat before surgery?
The day before surgery, we want you to eat lightly. Stick with salads and clear broths.
And again, it went through that database of responses and found the right one that answered. Here I'm showing you what the most common question we get from people is, will I be in pain?
Even though your healthcare team will do everything they can to keep it manageable.
Well, all of that's really important, and everybody understands how critical it is to get people the right patient, the right information, the precision engagement exactly when they need it, not only for them but their families. But all of you CFOs are out there are now going to ask me, so what? Does it really make a difference? And I'm glad to say yes. We've done a study of the 200 people in Allegheny Health Network who have used this program for open heart surgery. What we found is an amazing level of engagement. The average utilization is an hour and a half. And that includes no dead time. We don't count the time you walk away. We track it. That's active time on the system. And an hour and a half is Facebook time. And we like that a great deal. It also increased patient satisfaction scores. So what? You know that drives reimbursement rates. But the real difference, and I think one that speaks to the financial piece mainly, is did we reduce costs? In the patients who used the system and compared to the patients who did not use the program, same hospital, same surgeons, same surgery in the same time frame, in month one, there was a 50% cost reduction for those patients. Over the 180-day cycle, it was 30% savings. If you look at that, that's a 30x spending. And when I look at what the financials are for this, the return, a 3,000% ROI. Everyone would buy in this one. We'd like to work with you. We'll show you more. There's so much more I'd like to be able to share with you. Come and stop by. Thank you again.
All right, judges.
Thank you. Okay, no questions? I'm okay.
So there's a lot of ways, people have FAQs, there's tutorials on a lot of websites for medical practices and physician practices. What is it? Why are you able to achieve this level of engagement? Is it just the interface, or is there more that you're doing with the content? Can you talk a little bit about why this works?
Why we're getting
than
this
a lot
kind
of
of
other
engagement?
mechanisms, to educate patients that people try all the time.
Well, I don't want to give you all of our trade secrets away because we have been doing this for a number of times, a number of years, and I can tell you we made mistakes. So we have learned from this. But one of the subtle things is that introduction with the doctor who's treating you. We know from studies that increases the engagement by 30%. The fact that we're giving you the information in 30-second to 1-minute clips allows people to come and take it, come and leave on their own calendar. There's a thing in learning that we've learned from the decision sciences people at Carnegie Mellon. Everybody has a pace. Some people have a 5-minute pace, some people have a 10-minute, some people have an hour. And what we do is we accommodate the pace. That's something that's so poorly done in healthcare today because everybody has a half-hour appointment on this day. And I know everybody has those experiences where they go in, talk to the doctor, and get the instructions, and the patient who's ill walks out and says, "What'd they say?" And that's what happens in healthcare. Every patient logs in so we can see exactly what they ask. A lot of these questions come in at 3 o'clock in the morning. And then what's really interesting, they come in, the same user ID comes in the same night, the next day with exactly the same question at 3 o'clock in the morning. And so we're asking, why do they do that? Why did they come in the next day? And it's like, when your whole life is out of control because you're facing this major crisis, and I can turn to something and get the same answer I got yesterday, that's a win. Because, maybe you don't see that in healthcare that often.
So is there any future plans to integrate with the EHR or the patient portal so that patients can search within a given space without having to go through yet another app or website?
I think that's absolutely critical. And where our vision is we're looking for someone who's really targeting patient engagement, probably the best in the world. If we could integrate with that kind of a platform, someone preferably whose favorite color is purple, we see an opportunity there. I wish I had worn purple. That's the only thing.
So I'm trying to understand. So the video you showed there, the way the application works is, would each individual surgeon record his or her own? Is that how it works, or you actually have that surgeon talking to any patient about their surgery?
Well, we could try that, but I can tell you most surgeons wouldn't want to be let somebody else talking to their patients.
Right.
So what we do is we have 90% of the content is recorded by actors and actresses and standard nursing, and then we allow specific spaces for the surgeon to customize their intro.
Got it.
or other high-impact messages. So if it's a message about adherence, we want to bring that doc back in.
Got it.
But we're trying to merge, we're trying to play the economic, optimize the economic solution. Give you the standard, but customize it for impact. I mean, these are not check-the-box solutions. These are not check-the-box problems. We're working on one right now for liver transplant patients. Customize it. You know, really make it, and you know, we want to go the extra mile to make it really special for people. It doesn't replace the healthcare staff, it extends them. So we want to do it right.
Virginia, as the questions get more complicated, how do you ensure that the correct response is paired with the correct question?
We do something that's very rarely done in America today. We say, I don't know. And it says, I'm sorry, I really don't have the answer to that question, but I can refer it to your doctor, I can refer it to someone, or please call your caretaker and get the answer to that question.
Great.
Very good.
All right,
Cool app.
thank you. And our last contestant is Hippo.
Hello, Sharks. Hello, GetConnected attendees, fellow entrepreneurs. My name is Joseph Rosenberg. I'm the head of product and a founding member at Hippo Technologies, where we are trying to build a universal medication app because we believe that medicine is the best medicine. I don't think I have to convince anybody in this room about the power of medicine, but imagine someone in your life, it could be you, a sibling, a spouse, a child, for whom medicine has improved the quality of their day-to-day life. Unfortunately, for a lot of consumers in this country, there are major problems with healthcare. As you all know, there are rising out-of-pocket expenses. A number of high-deductible plans has doubled since 2012. Plans are more complex. The number of excluded products on formulary lists from major PBMs has quintupled since 2013. People aren't using e-commerce experiences that you see every day. Mail order. Mail order rates have dropped from 14% in 2013 to 9% in 2016. In this day of Amazon, that's amazing. And then overall, people aren't taking the medications that have been prescribed to them by their doctors. The adherence rate for patients has dropped where 30% of scripts are going unfilled. People simply are not showing up to get their medications for all of these reasons. So we at Hippo have decided to build this app because patients in this day are becoming consumers, and they need a consumer-facing app that's friendly, that's easy to use, that exposes pricing and has transparency, and shows the savings that people really need in this day and age. But this is only the beginning. We plan to expand so that we have what I called earlier the universal medication app, a one-stop shop where you can go to manage all of your prescription information, where you can order your drugs by mail, where you can get alternative medication recommendations, where you can manage your family's prescription history and medications, where you can transfer prescriptions, where you can do all of this. But today, I want to show where we are now. Demo? Nice. So this is the Hippo app. I've already signed in, and did I lose it? Oh, there we are. I've already signed in and added my insurance information because I have 2 minutes. And so imagine I'm a patient, a doctor has prescribed Lipitor to me. So I would go to the app, I would search for Lipitor, enter my prescription information, and already you can see some of the transparency where we want to provide to patients. These are our prices. These are prices you can pay today in the app and go pick up at a pharmacy. So I am from New York. So we will be searching there. And let's say I want to go to the Walgreens around the corner. It's favorite. I like it there. Because I have added my insurance information, you can see my copay. Nobody is doing this today and giving this kind of transparency to people. Up until now, it's been a black box where you show up at the pharmacy and pay whatever your insurance covered. You have no idea. You'll also notice we have a HIPAA price of $11.43. Now that's crossed out because we believe that we want to steer patients in the right direction. In this case, HIPAA's pricing is not the best, and so we don't want people purchasing with us. So the only action you can take from that screen is to learn a little bit more about what is going on and why should you use your insurance here instead of the HIPAA price. So now let's say for a new medication, I take Synthroid. No, I don't even need to get the spelling right. If I take 150 milligrams, it's the same process as before. Choose a pharmacy, go back to New York City. And I am looking for, uh-oh. All right, we're gonna try one of these guys. All right, so if the HIPAA price wins, you're able to purchase it, check out, and go home to where you can go to the pharmacy and pick up your medications for $0 copay at the pharmacy, having paid through the app already. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Can you comment on the value proposition to the pharmacies, the CVSs, the Walgreens, who are trying to build a direct relationship to us, the patients? You know, why work with you? What's the incentive for them?
Absolutely. So the largest incentive is that 30% of prescriptions that go unfilled. So for them, the fact that somebody would prepay, so it's a sure buy from the pharmacy's perspective, and that we might be targeting some of that 30% that shows up at the pharmacy and says, oh wait, my drug's $150, I'm just gonna walk out. So for the pharmacies, that's really a big part of the pitch.
So where are you getting the data? Where are you aggregating it all from?
So we have relationships with PBMs in the industry, and that's kind of where our cost structures come from, and the data comes from Metaspan for drugs.
Can you talk about the business model? What's the business model? Who's paying for it, and what are they paying for, and how you
Yeah, so the business model is margins on the sale initially. At least this is our kind of at the core offering. When you're saving money on what you would pay in cash at the pharmacy, you're still maybe paying a little bit more than cost, and so we would take a slight margin on that.
How do you prevent abuses of the app in terms of obtaining drugs?
We do not write prescriptions, and we do not fill prescriptions. So we are purely a payment platform for picking up your medication, and we will work to reimburse the pharmacy, but you need a prescription to pick up a medication.
So as new pharmacies and such open, you can automatically identify where those are and provide those updated pricing?
Mm-hmm. So we are plugged directly into the pharmacy system. So the way pharmacies run claims and adjudicate, and we're kind of hooked into that system. And so any pharmacy that is talking to any insurance company, we can talk to.
What about Medicaid, Medicare patients?
They should probably use Medicaid. We probably can't beat those deals.
Can you? No, please go ahead, Mike.
Can you talk a little bit about how many people are on the platform now? Talk a little bit about the scope, the scale.
So we're still public launch, I would say, though it is available in the App Store, both iOS and Android, so I'd recommend everybody go download it. We've had, I think, in the 2 months since we've launched, about 10,000 downloads, and I want to say about 1,500 accounts created. And that's kind of with all organic word of mouth and really no publicity yet. But it's been great. We've been working on a lot of kinks. It's been very, very good.
Cool. Can you comment a little bit on the competition and where you're seeing it coming from and where you see the deficiencies and hence the opportunity for the...
So there are kind of, I would say, 2 direct competitors that we're very aware of. Both Blink Health and GoodRx have very similar models. I would say our differentiating factors are that for them, kind of savings is the be-all, end-all of their platforms. They have less of a kind of intelligent view of the user and what the user is doing. Because of the way we plugged into the system, we view savings as the first step. We think medication management, we think transparency, we think paying your copays through the app is really going to be really valuable for users, and that's where we want to go, and we view kind of the savings and component as kind of our bare offering.
Would you explain how the app works if I'm the parent responsible for minors and I want to use the app for my children?
So as a parent, and we've had a number of instances of this, you would simply sign up for an account and use it as a payment mechanism. So you would put in your child's prescription and pay with the app, and when you go to the pharmacy, like you show your insurance card, you have a BIN and a member ID, and you'd give that to the pharmacist. They'd run the claim, $0 copay, and you'd walk out with the medications. Once again, we don't do prescriptions and we don't fill prescriptions. So that kind of simplifies that a little bit.
So is this live nationwide now? Rural areas included?
Coast to coast.
I'm going to download it.
Give it a shot.
Yeah, please do.
It's cool.
Anything else you want to add with your 37
With my 37 seconds. No, I hope everybody checks it out. Please feel free to email me with any feedback, or the team, Joseph at Hello Hippo, and come see me afterwards.
Can you just comment on the name?
It's easy to spell and remember.
Yeah, man.
Good job. Hippo.
Thank you. All right. At this point, I would love to invite all of our companies to come back up on the stage for a big thank you from all of us. As you all can imagine, it is extremely difficult to take your life's work and explain it in 5 minutes under the scrutiny of 700 people. So one more time, let's give it up for our
great job.
entrepreneurs. I'd also love to give a big thank you to our esteemed judges who asked great questions. They weren't too mean. They were great. And then lastly, I would love to give a huge thank you to all of the purple crazies out there who helped put this together. It actually takes a lot of work to vet we vetted a ton of companies before selecting the ones that we even invited to be here today. So thanks to the team, the GetWell team. You guys are awesome. Thank you. All right, now it's time for the fun part, the voting. So everyone take out your phone.
Hi.
I'm okay with that.
This is going to be done in real time. All right, so let me explain to you how this is going to work. We are going to open the voting for 30 seconds, literally 30 seconds, okay? So you've got to have in your head a mental picture, think right now about who you want to vote for. I'd like you to launch the conference app on your phone right now. And then if you click on the menu button in the top left corner and go to the agenda, you can scroll down until you see this session, which is GetWell Labs Shark Tank. Click on that session, and then scroll to the bottom of the description, and there you'll see Join Live Poll. Okay, everybody take a second. Okay, so you take out your phone, launch the app, click on the menu in the upper left corner, scroll down till you find the GetWell Labs Shark Tank session. Click on that, and if you scroll all the way to the bottom, you should see a button that says Join Live Poll. All right. On your marks. Okay, I'll wait. You need me to repeat it one more time? Everybody got it? Okay. On your marks, get set, vote. "17 seconds left. Get that voted."
Gotta be. That's crazy. Real time card.
That's really fantastic.
Yeah, Hippo's killing it. Doesn't vote. Stuff killing it.
7 people have voted.
All right. ding, 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 ding. It looks like we have a winner.
Hey.
Hippo, congratulations. I think, where's Laura? Laura's got a nice, huge bag of purple swag for
Yes.
you.
Yes. What you always wanted.
Which includes a purple towel, a sweatshirt, a water bottle. Oh, nail polish, lip balm, socks, an umbrella, a mystic unicorn, and a bag. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you all. All right, I am acutely aware that it is time for happy hour, so let me wrap up with just a few teeny tiny minutes of housekeeping. First of all, thank you so much for a truly incredible day. I don't know about you, but I laughed a lot today, I cried a lot today, and I was absolutely moved to think differently, and we all hope that you were too. Immediately following this session, all of our contestants who are walking out right now are going to be out at tables outside. So please, we would highly encourage you to take the time to meet these awesome entrepreneurs, say hello on your way down to Exhibit Hall B, which is where we're going to have the R&D showcase, the poster presentations, and the cocktails that are awaiting your arrival. And now that your voting skills are warmed up, please be sure to use those voting skills and vote on the poster presentations as well. Really important. A lot of work went into those, and we would absolutely love your feedback. And if you still have the energy, and knowing this crowd, I'm sure you will, we hope you will all join us for a nightcap tonight, late night, at Pose, which is a rooftop bar here at the Gaylord. It starts at 10 p.m. 10 p.m. to midnight, so if you plan to join us, make sure you bring your badge because it gets you free drinks. And then we're gonna be back here bright and early tomorrow morning for some more great breakout sessions, and then a fantastic keynote panel led by U.S. Deputy Surgeon General Rear Admiral Sylvia Trent Adams, and she's gonna be talking about trends and opportunities shaping 2018's healthcare landscape and share some insight on the Surgeon General's priorities for protecting, promoting, and advancing the country's health. So that was it. Thank you all so much for being here and for voting. Have a great evening. Thank you.